Hey guys, it's JD out here in the new 53, the new 53, the other 53. This is the one I just picked up out in Murfreesboro, and just kind of getting started taking some things apart. Just kind of wanted you to get a good look around at how things look when you get started. I have just started taking out the headliner bows. That's what these are. These are the metal bows that go across the top that hold the headliner in place. Last one's still in place here. I've got to pry it out. It's one of the smaller ones. There's 7 of those that hold that in. On that side, I've taken out the cleat that holds in the headliner, and that same cleat is this piece right here. I'm taking that out now, just kind of collecting screws. But what we do is we take these screws out because they're specific to these locations and to that size of metal. We'll tag those screws, and the ones we can reuse, we'll reuse them, and the ones we can't reuse, we'll have to replace them. But that gives you an idea of what goes back. And taking these cars apart is a process. You've got to go in here, get the dirty job done, which is get in here when it's nasty like this, and take all the pieces off. So we'll have to take all these pieces off the back of the seats. Oh, I'm dropping screws. All the back of the seats, all of the springs and things that kind of go in behind these window cranks. These are beauty rings around all the windows. These will be taken out. They're all metal. They'll be taken out. We'll take these screws out, and we will tag all of those, and we'll know exactly what goes back in there. We may not be able to reuse what comes out, but at least we'll know the right size when it comes time to start assembly back together. So another important thing that we'll take off is that VIN tag. Got to have a VIN tag. That's pretty cool. I don't know if you've seen any of this stuff. I know you haven't. Actually, I know you haven't. So the floors are gone. So we're gonna have to cut all the floor panels out, and then we'll buy some new metal, and we'll piece those back in. The seats are pretty roached out. All of the springs are there. I'm in the back seat right now, and it sits pretty good. So the seat itself is in decent shape. It's just kind of nasty. Don't want to have to really think about what all has been on this seat right now, but it's pretty gross. Probably somebody's cat lived in here for a while. It's pretty disgusting. That's the door panel from the passenger door. All of that'll be taken out. I just wanted to give you a start of kind of where we are in the process. It's early in the process. We've got it in a place where we can get to it. It's too dirty to take in the shop right now. There's a whole lot of disgusting and rusty parts that need to be cut out and taken apart before we take it in the shop, and we don't want to get the shop that disgusting. So we'll do all that, but I just wanted to get a little 3-minute video on where we started. Take out 3 screws that hold the sun visors. We got to bag and tag all of these. This car's got almost every piece on it. That's one of the things I was really excited about this car, is that there's nothing missing. Literally everything that was so hard to find with my first one, all the little pieces are actually here. So the parts inventory is going to be a whole lot easier on this one. So all this stuff's got to come out. I don't know, can you see this? We'll go here, we'll take out the rear view mirror, same thing. All of these parts are great parts to have. If nothing else, once you get them tagged, you'll be able to tell my foot just fell through the floor. It's look at that. See that? You'd never think a screw that big was up in that ceiling. So when you go back to putting this thing together, you probably would never assume that that's the right screw for this. Look at that thing. But that's awesome. All right. So we put those aside. We've got those pieces. All right, I'm gonna take this beauty ring off while I'm here. These are 2-piece, one section and the other section for driver's side and passenger side. All of these screws come out. So this is all one piece across here. There's one section in the center that the rear view mirror that we just took out makes up. And try not to strip these. Keep up with which ones came out of what hole, because sometimes they'll throw you a curveball, and a different size screw will go in one of these open. And you won't know it when you're going to put back together unless you've really taken an account when you're taking these out. And you keep up with it. That one's pretty stuck. See that one? Way longer. So we got to remember that across this vent panel here, these screws that are coming out are a lot longer. And we'll make notes of that and I put little cheat notes down inside. And what I like to do here is just keep that screw into that piece at the same time. So I'll put a little note in there that says those three came out of the dash side and these came out of the top. And there is the beauty ring. Oh, got him, caught him. That's the beauty ring that came out. And I'll take this other one out on the other side as well. We'll sand it, we'll paint it, we'll make it beautiful again. There's that one. Let's see. And the other thing you want to take note when you're doing this is you want to see how this goes together. So you can see that under the beauty ring, the headliner stuck underneath that thing. So the beauty ring in the first that goes around the windshield is what holds the headliner in. Then when you get here, above the door, this is a kind of a cleat. So the headliner is going to come under here, and then this is called windlace. The windlace is going to tuck under here too. But you can kind of see how once that piece clips on there, and this was under it, that's how the headliner is held in. The headliner has these panels here that come down, and they're going to be material held in again under here. And then I'm not sure exactly how they go on the backside back there. Oh, they wrap around this. There's a metal piece here, and the material just wraps around that and tucks in the backside. So that'll be pretty self-explanatory. So I'll keep.
Have good cordless tools. This will take forever.
You know, a lot of times during this phase, you identify rust that you never knew was there. So a window could have been leaking all this time, and you'll start to take a screw out, and you'll realize that it literally was held in by nothing because the metal that was behind it has actually rusted through. But it looks like this car is pretty solid around the windows anyway. We've got our own rust issues, but they are in the quarter panels and the floors mostly. So that's not a big deal. I don't know if you can see kind of what I'm doing there. So those are the screws that we took out. This is the driver's side beauty panel. Doesn't want to release just yet. There it goes. And that's going to come out. Come here, you. Trying to lose all those screws. Oh, nope, I found them. Okay, and then we'll get out. So that's what we took out. Two beauty panels, and then these cleats that hold the headliner in. I think I got all the, I may have missed a screw on this one. Let's see, hold on. Cleat that holds the headliner in. I missed a screw right here. I don't think you guys have to see all of this. The rear window beauty rings come out exactly like the ones across the windshield. So I will get started on this little piece right here. It's difficult to find. I'm going to put it aside by itself, make sure we don't lose it, and this one is too. I had to just make a few for the other car because I couldn't find those. And I know it's just little pieces of metal, but you know, they're perfectly fashioned and made to go right where they are. And when you don't have them, you notice things like that.
Now, I'm seeing a little green around the rubber here, which would indicate maybe that we've got some moisture that's come in, so I'll be interested to see if there's any rust under here that needs to be repaired before we get this guy back together. So that's the one side, passenger side, should be free. There it goes, there it goes. It comes out. We'll do the driver's side, and we'll tag all these screws again because these are very specific. You don't want to run a screw into this that is too big. You would then wallow out the hole. It won't fit. as it's supposed to into these pieces. These screws have a specific head on them that countersinks and fits flush, so those are important to go back the same way they came out. A lot of them will be unusable because they're rusty, and some are going to be usable. I did my interior in the first one that I did in black, so I bought an entire set of these GM, I think they're called mid-50s interior screw kits, and they basically sell every screw that comes in these cars for the interior packages in a flat black, or you can get in a gloss black, and I think you can get them in white, so they can be painted on the tips.
So that's got the two beauty rings out. Package tray will come out next. It's completely gone. Piece of cardboard, that's pretty gross. Those screws will bag and tag. Okay, so we're on to moving in to get the back seat out. The back seat just sits in there, and I think what we'll do, we just pull up the top of it, and it should pull out. I'm not sure I'll have room to do all that and get a camera shot, but it should. There we go. Lift up, and then the bottom just pulls straight out.
You just kind of get it at an angle. Well, that's a beautiful seafoam green. It's a shame that color went out of fashion. That would be a beautiful color to go back with. Make sure we don't lose our camera shot here. Sorry about that. The back seat bottom is out.
Let's come out here and take a look at it. So you can see springs are in decent shape. Don't know what that is. Probably something to keep it from squeaking. You won't really know until we take it apart, but after doing this a couple of times, that looks like every back seat that I've ever taken out of a car. They all, actually they hold up pretty well. They're made of steel, so they're pretty good. All right, I thought this was kind of interesting. When you start taking seat pieces out, you end up with some forensic evidence of some life forms that lived in your car at some point. That looks like a mouse skeleton right there. You can kind of look through here and you can see all the little nuts and the pieces of things. Here's an exhaust gasket for or maybe a water pump, a thermostat gasket, something like that. Lots of little nuts and things from all the years and years and years of life. Somebody probably died of cancer. There's a metal cup that goes there. That's something that the seat bottom will mount into. Well, this one, here's this one too. So those little pieces there, that's what those are for. They're just little cups that fit down in there, and there's a nut down in there that's going to keep you from getting those in, but you're going to bag and tag those too. Pretty interesting stuff down here. All right, I went back in the shop because I realized this back seat is not actually held in by screws. It's held in by some metal tabs that are bent over. So I went back in and got a couple of different pliers. I like these needle nose pliers are great for getting into small places, but I also have these old ones that my grandfather had that are just the coolest. Really needle nose, kind of a flat plier, and they're really good for little things like this. So I'll show you kind of where it was. That little piece there, it'll allow that to release. I don't know if you saw that. That tab goes right through there. Once you get it bent out straight, it allows that to release. So we'll go over here to the other one. We'll do exactly the same thing. This one's bent in, so it's going to be a little bit easier. We do that right there. And once it's bent out straight, it allows the seat. And we'll go a little bit further. Kind of like that. Seat goes straight up. Okay, so this is the rear seat back. We've released the tabs down in the bottom corners. And now this should just pop straight up. It did. And up. Okay, now it's released. So wiggle this guy out of there. Actually, the easiest way is to go ahead and remove side armrests. Those are 2 screws. They're Phillips head, and I'll come back to that. All right. Big screws. Can't lose those. Bag and tag these on its clamps. You can see once I get it out what it was sitting on. Okay, so that's the whole back seat that's out. That's good. These the back seats actually sit on these hooks that you have to lift it kind of up and down to set it back in here. And then these are the tabs that you want to make sure don't cut those off if you're going back with a factory seat, because those tabs down at the bottom of these wheel wells will be what holds the rear of your seat in. Next thing to take out would be the beauty rings around the rear windows and then the doors as well. Same thing.
Make sure that as we go around here, we're going to take note of what screws come out where, all the way around. We need to make sure that these go back in the same place so that it'll fit really nice. Look good. I think that's all there are. Let's see. These kind of out. You'll figure it out. Oh, appear to be about the same thing. No special screw. The back of this one has got some rust on it. It means this back window has been leaking for a while. It's all five of those.
Yep. And there's that one. And the last one is the front door.
Now this one definitely has different screws. In fact, those are not even threaded the same. It's possible that they were replaced at some point.
You want to make sure you don't lose this stuff. This is specific stuff for just this car. Nothing else will work. I don't think the 49, the 50, the 51, and the 52 will fit it. But once you've got that off, get a little slack on this guy. Got to clear just a little bit and then slide back a little. And then when it finally releases, there it is, it's gone. I'll make another little note here about these things. I like to go ahead and just put these back on for now. It's going to be there for a minute. These little tabs here, they help to give this some integrity when you finally get your beauty ring back on there. Don't lose those. Okay, before you start, there's a couple things you might want to go ahead and order. So to get the door jambs off, these window cranks off, they're, especially if they've recovered them with anything, this is going to be thicker than what came from the factory. But the back side of these window cranks, I'm sure everybody knows this, but the people that haven't done this before don't know. There are these little pins that sit, they're a little horseshoe pin. I don't know if you can see that, a little horseshoe pin. And it goes inside here. Once this pushes past its post, that's what locks it on. They're impossible to get off. Chevs of the 40s makes, I would get online, Chevs of the 40s, and I would see, I don't know if you can zoom up on that. That is called a tool, horseshoe clip, interior handles. It's a little tool. It's like $5. It will make your life incredibly easy. So you line it up with, you don't know which direction the clip is on, so it's either going to go this way and push that guy off, or it's going to go this way, but it pretty much lines up with the handle itself. And then you'll want this side out towards you, so that as it rides along the back side back there, that's where it is. So. There it went. See how that worked? Okay, so it came off. I think you ought to see this. This is the way these things go together. This is the piece that holds it to let it slide against the door card. And what happens is this little piece, this little guy sits inside here, and it holds against the lug, and it's inside there, and it creates two little tabs that hold against the lug of the door lock back here. So this piece sits inside there. So you've got to get the tool wedged in between those two pieces. It's got to go in between those two pieces. And it's got to be aligned back here so that when it slides through that little channel, it will find its groove and then push that pin out of the way. Let's see, maybe that way, yeah. So you can see exactly what it's doing there. And then as it slides on, it will take that pin right off. And then you can pull it out. And if you do it right, your pen will look like that. When you get it off, you don't lose your pen. But you got to get it between those two pieces. So if you're wrestling with it, you may be back here. Try that. And once those are off, got 2 more screws here. Take that off. Keep those. They're a very specific size. And then your door card will come off. So if you can get this door card off without tearing up the very edges of it, that is your goal, because you can use this for your template. Really, really nice template, in fact. So your door card is going to be held on with some screws. These are completely rotted out, but these little screws have these little tabs on them. And if you can get your door card off in one piece, which I'm going to attempt to do here, except that piece there is completely rotted. Like that. Because we're not going to use these screws the way we'll do the door cards. We'll use, their fasteners have come a long way. So we don't have to put a door card through, we don't have to put screws through our door card. And there, that's going to fall on out. Now, this will make a great template, so you want to hang on to it if you can. And you can recreate the edges of it and make a great template that you'll make out of ABS plastic. And ABS plastic, see, when you put them in ABS plastic, they don't get nasty and roached out like this. But keep those for your template. All right, same thing in the back seat. We just gotta get this one guy off. And if we can save this one, we'll have a good template then for the back seat, for the rear seat door cards, or not door cards, but rear seat side panels. The cool thing about that is if you just save one good one, the mirror of it will be the other side. They're exactly the same on both sides. Let me see if I can get behind there. All right, it finally came off. So there's our rear seat side cards in good shape, so we can make a good template out of that. In fact, that looks like an original one, so that'll be great. I'll get the other one off. We'll be on to the next. All right, last chance to look like a hero with this tool. Let's see if we can do one more. Make it look easy, like it was supposed to. I am.
Found any rat turds?
Yeah, you're on camera.
Oh, really? Hey.
You're not live.
No, that's what happens in old cars.
Yeah. I found rat
Rat nest.
skeletons.
Ah!
I like that. Yeah.
Yuck.
Last little bit.
Part of it though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. We're bagging and tagging. All right, got the seat loosened up. That little catch right there slides under here in the front, so you don't have to really take these out all the way. The rear bolts, though, you do have to take out. It's going to be pretty heavy, so I'm going to go ahead and take this off first. Just get these seat backs off, or at least one of them, just to make it where I can manage it by myself. Is just kind of press fit on there. So when you get a screwdriver or even a hammer kind of back in behind there, like so, and pry it out, it should pop right off. And I say should kind of in the, there it goes. Now, Your seat will pivot up and forward just a little bit, and then it'll fall apart right there in the middle. Just got a catch that it has to catch onto, and then you've got your seat back out. And all it does is it just kind of hooks on that little hook right there inside that. And then you've got a seat back off. Get that out of the way. Now we can drag it out on that side without a whole lot of weight. And that's going to have our interior pretty well blasted. Let's see. Just like so. Let's see. I'll grab that side. Oh yeah, it's pretty heavy. There you have it. It's out. So, driver's seat's out, but end of day one. We've got about 2 hours in here, and we've got the seats out, we've got the door cards out, we've got the headliner bows out, all the window trim, all the beauty rings for the side glass and door glass, the beauty trim in the back, all the tabs for the headliner, the cleats that go across the windows. We've taken out the sun visors, sidecar cards there. We got the whole interior just stripped out, so it didn't take very long. We got a lot to work with here, a lot to do. Got some issues there with the door shutting. We didn't do anything under the hood today. It's about to start raining. Oh, we did do one thing. We also broke the headlight pushing it around with the tractor, so yeah, that wasn't great. Stuff we weren't going to use anyway. Hard to believe that one of these days that thing's going to look like that. Yeah, that's the finished product. That's the starting product. Here's the pile of crap we pulled out of the car today. We'll go through all this crap and pull all the stuff off of it that we're not going to use. Beauty rings, we've got some outside stainless there. We'll mark those. Those are probably going to be usable. I'll show you at a later time how we knock the dents out and polish those up. The next thing that I'm going to do is go through this table. I've got different sets of screws. Those are for the headliner. These are for the front glass. Let's see, those are for the back glass. These are all the beauty rings for the windows, the headliner bows. Just a lot of stuff that needs to be inventory. Screws there from the rearview mirror. We'll inventory all of that stuff. Bag it and tag it, and start our first tote of parts. And you know, just every now and then it's just good to come back here and just take a look at what we're doing all this for. Shiny, shiny, cool stuff. All right, take care.